POS365 for Business Central is a simple, seamless and scalable solution. POS365 offers more structural advantages at a lower TCO than any of the competitors that we see in the market. This is due to our unique architecture and pricing structure. We only charge per POS. We do not charge a user fee, meaning that you can add as many users to the solution as you want, giving you a lower TCO. We will also help you increase sales. How do we do that? Our product is very good in terms of the user experience and a very intuitive user interface. It will allow for much quicker onboarding and have the employees become more productive as everything moves really fast and smooth in the solution. One of our unique value propositions is that we have offline capability by design. You do not need infrastructure with servers in the back office and so forth. In our system, there is a small database sitting locally on the machine where it will download items, customers, and so forth, and it'll allow you to keep your operations running even if you lose connectivity. The product sits outside of Business Central, giving you a unique opportunity in terms of building a user experience that is best in class. We are not limited by the solution space inside of Business Central. We have, however, built a very deep integration into Business Central, allowing you to have omnichannel, meaning that you can do click and collect and so forth directly in the POS. You're also able to look up customer data, create customer data, create sales orders and complete sales orders, and you can even pay invoices. So we have taken a lot of that heavy lifting that the ERP system normally does and moved it into our very intuitive user interface. This allows your store clerks to do these kinds of operations outside of Business Central. It's simple, seamless and scalable, meaning that it's very simple to install, to operate, and it runs seamlessly between the POS and Business Central. It has offline capability and it's scalable because it only takes about 1 hour to set up a whole new system and have a new customer up and running, which is very unique. Now let's look at the actual POS. This is the user interface. I will log in as one of the employees. And it will first do a sync of all the data from Business Central into the POS. Now it has loaded the screen and the interface that you can see is very customizable. So I've chosen a layout where you have product categories in the left, items in the middle, you have the basket in the right side, and then I have customized my particular screen by adding customer information above my basket. So here you can see the customer information. Now let's look at some of the item and item information. In the middle we have all the different items, so I'll just add one to the basket and go into the item. Here you can see the stock level of this particular item, and you saw how fast it loaded the data. The data is actually being loaded instantaneously from Business Central, so you can always see what's in stock. And you can even see what's in stock in different locations. So if the current shop that you're in has no more items in stock, you can see which other locations the item is in stock, and you can then refer the customer to that store, or you can call them up and tell them to reserve one of these items and so forth. You have different options when you're in the item to work with said item. You can change the name, you can print labels, you can change the price, you can give a discount, but we also have a discount calculator allowing for quite complex and interesting ways to work with the discount. Here you can see the cost price, you can see what is the actual margin of my product, and you can choose to give discounts. And the reason for this addition is that we see that our customers have very different ways to working with discounts. For instance, some stores, they want to have the option to put discount on top of other discounts. So if you, for instance, have an item with 20% discount, and you do an additional 20% on everything in the store, it's 20% from the lower price and not a total of 40%. And we allowed for both in the past. Now you can see that it added the discount. You can also add a comment that will then be sent to Business Central. It could be that it's damaged, discount given, allowing the head office or whoever to see why this item were discounted. The discount option is of course user role based, so that depending on which role that you have in the POS, you are either able to give discounts to a certain limit or not give discounts at all. When you pay, you have the option to pay on account, cash payment, card payments, and so forth. You can add payment types in our admin center. If you, for instance, do a payment on account, you can look up different customers and you can see the credit limit and then tell the customer you're actually above your current credit limit. You need to put in more money for that. Okay, let's remove the sale. Let's look a bit more into some of the more advanced features of the product. Down here we have the customer information. Here you have an overview of all the different customers. If we go into this customer, you can see the history of all the sales. Here we have all the different receipts. You can see the open sales orders, and you can go in and you can actually work on sales orders directly in the POS. And you can also pay invoices, you can create customers, you can edit customers. So all that heavy lifting that you would typically do in the ERP system, we have moved into the POS, both allowing for, you can say, a more simple way of doing things for the store, and you allow the clerks to do a lot more without them having to go into Business Central. And you can do payments. You can see that what is the remaining payment here? It's 25. That's all we need to pay, and that's the actual amount of outstanding here. And when you do that payment, that order is now completed. So let's go back in. You can see up here is the option to create new customers and add there all the information that you need. Let's have a look at this one. And you can also pay invoices and change the amount that you have on account and so forth. Another feature that our customers are very pleased about is that we are integrated with the price and discount lists in Business Central. So for instance, we add 3 items of this London chair, and then we add a customer to the sale. And this customer is part of a customer discount group, and you can now see that it added a discount because we added 3 items to this. And you can have this working in different ways. It can either be just on the items, it doesn't need to be on the customer type. So there's a lot of different options to work with these different price lists and discount lists from Business Central.